Welcome to Dr. ACR Academy. In this video, we talk and review the recent NASA's discovery of the surprised presence of water on the sunlit side of the Moon and the discovery of more water in shadow regions of the Moon. For many years in the past, researchers believed that the rocks from the Moon were bone dry, and any water detected in the Apollo samples thought that these were contamination from Earth. Here is the surprising tweet from the NASA Twitter handle on October 26, 2020. The news story is, on October 26, 2020, NASA published 2 research papers in Nature Astronomy, one about the presence of water in the unimagined sunlit side of the Moon. And the other one is on presence of more water on the expected regions of the Moon. This is the first time water has been found on the sunlit side. This is showing that water is not limited to shady areas, and there may be more water than is believed in shadow areas of Moon where it is already expected to exist. The water story in brief. Were there any previous works? Yes, there are several spacecrafts that includes the Cassini mission, Deep Impact Comet mission, and the Indian Space Research Organization's Chandrayaan-1 mission, additionally the NASA's ground-based infrared telescope facility. The research publication: NASA's Moon Mineralogy Mapper, M3, instrument aboard the Indian Space Research Organization's Chandrayaan-1 spacecraft. Scientists remotely detected magmatic water, or water that originates from deep within the Moon's interior, on the surface of the Moon, at crater Betelgeuse. All these spacecrafts observed the Moon at 3 micrometers to find out the presence of hydration and noticed a strong emissive band at 3 micrometers. But these bands may be due to molecular water or even with other hydroxyl molecules also. So the results are not declared the presence of molecular water, what we can use. However, a fundamental vibration of molecular water produces a spectral signature at 6 μm that is not shared by other hydroxyl compounds. In NASA's first paper, entitled Molecular Water Detected on the Sunlit Moon by SOFIA, the same principle is used in the SOFIA to scan the Moon's surface with 6 micrometers with forecast IR spectrophotometer, and victory of finding molecular water has come to us. Let's see who is SOFIA and its success story, published by the NASA scientists in Nature Astrology. SOFIA is the Stratospheric Observatory for Infrared Astronomy, is a Boeing 747 SP aircraft modified to carry a 2.7-meter SOFIA, flying into the stratosphere at 38,000 to 45,000 feet allows it to rise above almost all of the water vapor in the Earth's atmosphere that blocks some infrared wavelengths from reaching the ground, and
allowing astronomers to study the solar system and beyond in ways that are not possible with ground-based telescopes.
SOFIA offered a new means of looking at the Moon by using a special telescope called the Faint Object Infrared Camera for the SOFIA telescope, forecast, with wavelength coverage from 5 to 8 micrometers, which is well suited to look for 6 micrometers molecular water.
Okay, passing 10 for 14,000, that's up for 7.
That's 846, go ahead.
Yeah, on the wing of 747. I'd like to coordinate my separation here and the Clovis radials, and I'd like to make a right turn and climb to 41 or 43 if that's possible, and head back towards Shasta Edwards.
That's 846, enable, turn right, heading 100, and maintain flight level 370.
Turn right to...
Here are the spectra of the Clavius crater region show a strong 6M emission band, indicating the presence of molecular water. All spectral images of the Clavius region show a 6M emission band. In each spectral image, the 6M band is broad and qualitatively similar, spatially indicates the presence of molecular water molecules. The results are: water was found in Clavius crater, one of the Moon's largest craters visible from Earth. Here the crater means a bowl-shaped depression. The water may be delivered by tiny meteorite impacts. Or formed by the interaction of energetic particles ejected from the Sun. Next, coming to the second study. The molecular water is trapped in the form of ice in the permanent shadow regions of the Moon. PSRs are the permanent shadow region that never received sunlight from the formation of the Moon. Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter is the spacecraft that played an active role in finding out the PSRs, and the location of water in them.
As you watch the Moon over the course of a month, you'll notice that different features are illuminated by the Sun at different times. However, there are some parts of the Moon that never see sunlight. These areas are called permanently shadowed regions, and they appear dark because, unlike on the Earth, the axis of the Moon is nearly perpendicular to the direction of the Sun's light. The result is that the bottoms of certain craters, like here at the Moon's south pole, are never pointed toward the Sun, with some remaining dark for over 2 billion years. However, thanks to new data from NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, we can now see into these dark craters in incredible detail. Seeing the shape of the crater is important, and LRO has used its LOLA instrument to make the best yet topographical maps of these craters by reflecting lasers off the lunar surface. This has allowed us to see the shapes of the crater's interiors from any angle, and by making 3D models, we can light up the crater floors as if we had a giant flashlight. And although the Sun never illuminates these craters, other stars still cast a faint light into the permanent shadows. LRO's LAMP instrument can actually measure this light, giving us yet another view of this unique region on the Moon. LRO's Diviner instrument can also measure temperature, revealing the extreme cold within the craters. Finally, LRO's LEND instrument can measure the speed of neutrons to detect elements like hydrogen in the lunar soil. So, while there are some areas on the Moon that never see the light of day, LRO will keep collecting data so that we can learn more about them. And as we continue to study the Moon, we'll improve our understanding of Earth's original satellite and, pun fully intended, bring new discoveries to light.
This new study discovered the conformation of billions of microcraters that could each spring a very small amount of water ice, and these are a very huge amount than the number of water crystals discovered by NASA in 2009 in a deep crater near the Moon's southern pole. This suggests that water could be much more widespread on the Moon than previously thought, said Paul Hayne, the main author of the research and who works in Department of Astrophysics, University of Colorado. The scientists estimated that these cold traps at both poles and concluded that approximately 40,000 kilometers squared of the lunar surface can trap water, which is equal to land area of Buran or the Kerala from India. Indeed, the size and placement of these small craters were reconstructed by using high-resolution images and lunar temperature measurements taken from NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. The ice-filled microcraters are present both in the north and south poles, and further amount to be investigated to uncover the additional amount. The temperature of the frozen ice is as cold -160 Celsius. Now coming to reasons why these new water traces excited the space community. Supports the life of astronauts. Useful to produce rocket fuel. Astronauts can carry less water and more scientific equipments from Earth, so that can extend the quality of research. These water traces boosts up NASA's The Gateway program that will be an outpost orbiting the Moon that provides vital support for a sustainable, long-term human return to the lunar surface, as well as a staging point for deep space exploration. It is a critical component of NASA's Artemis program. NASA's Artemis program is a U.S. government-funded crewed spaceflight program that has the goal of landing the first woman and the next man on the Moon, specifically at the lunar South Pole region by 2024. Hope to see this in very close days.